Now, it's come to my attention that not all of my constituents had the benefit of a public school education, and as such, many of them are still confused about the three-tier system and how it applies to them. So I thought I'd pop on my headmistress cap and clarify the situation for you all. Quiet down now, please. Quiet down. So, it's very straightforward. There's a three-tier system. Those in Tier 1 are allowed to go to the pub, not after 10 p.m, with up to 6 people from whom you do socially distance, some of whom may be from your household or social bubble, others may not be. You may go to restaurants, but you prefer to sit outside if it's in any way possible. You must go to work, but not if you've been furloughed, which you won't be if your career is unviable. If you're on the back to work scheme, you must inform the government before taking external work outside of that. And if you're going to a restaurant but you do not have symptoms, you must alert everybody in your social bubble and anybody that you've had contact with for more than 14 hours, including sexual partners, over the last 3 to 5 days, including the taxi driver, if you took a taxi to get your appointment for the test. Now, when it comes to weddings and funerals, it's very straightforward. In Tier 1, you're allowed 15 people at a wedding, and in Tier 2, a marriage is between one man and one woman only. In Tier 3, there won't be any weddings, and funerals will be essentially compulsory. When it comes to childcare arrangements, it's very important to check whether your co-parent lives in a Tier 1, Tier 2 or Tier 3 area. And if they do live in a Tier 1 area, ask them to take the child before school, assuming that the school has not been closed due to COVID restrictions, which will happen if they move into a Tier 3 area or if the school is based in Northern Ireland. If the child refuses to return home without more than 6 of his friends, then he must be returned to school immediately and forced to bubble, preferably in the science laboratory where he can be tested more easily. Now, some of you may still be confused about the regulations on going to work. It's important that everybody in all tiers goes to work if they're unable to work from home, or if working from home impacts on others around them or leaves them so poor that they can't keep investing in the economy. They shouldn't go to work if they've presented with symptoms and have been tested, but the test has still come back negative and they're awaiting the results of a further test. But they should go to work if they haven't got symptoms, or those symptoms aren't the right symptoms based on the government's website. And if you have rung NHS 111, a testing kit may be sent out to you, but you shouldn't post it in anything other than a priority post box, because otherwise the NHS will be overwhelmed. And if you haven't downloaded the Track and Trace app, then you shouldn't attend any bar unless you really trust the bar staff in there. Once we move to a Tier 2 system, which will be happening for most of us at some point in the next fortnight, you will be allowed to go to a bar, but only with people you live with and don't really like. And you'll be required to stay no later than 10 p.m. so that we can all get up frightfully early in the morning to start worrying about what we should do about the school run. Now, a lot of people have been asking what we should do about Tier 3 regulations, and the answer is you just hope to hell that your mayor is Andy Burnham, because otherwise you're basically fucked. And for those of us who did benefit from a public school education, the way that the three-tier system works is quite straightforward. It just doesn't apply to us. See you down the Commons bar, Mr. Hancock. Ugh.